The overflowing cup, the consequences, and the acceptance of reality. In the Meiji era, 1868, a time of great upheaval when Japan opened its doors to the world after centuries of isolation. Old values crumbled like autumn leaves in the wind. The power of the emperors waned. The samurai laid down their swords. And everything that once seemed permanent was changing. Yet, amidst this chaos, people still sought wisdom. A university professor, his mind buzzing with Western philosophy and scientific theories, came to visit the Zen master Nanin, having heard whispers of a way of understanding that went beyond books and lectures. Nanin welcomed him with a gentle smile and began preparing tea. Unable to contain his excitement, the professor immediately launched into a detailed explanation of his studies and theories. Words poured from him like a broken dam. Nanin listened patiently, nodding occasionally as he lifted the teapot. He slowly, mindfully, poured tea into the professor's cup. The cup filled to the brim, but Nanin kept pouring. Tea spilled over the edges, pooling on the wooden table. The professor watched in growing alarm. "Master, stop, the cup is overflowing. No more tea can possibly fit." Nanin set down the teapot and looked directly into the professor's eyes. "Like this cup," he said gently, "you are full of your own opinions and theories. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" In that moment, the professor understood something no university had ever taught him. True learning requires emptiness. Not the emptiness of ignorance, but the spaciousness of an open mind. This is what we call beginner's mind in Zen, approaching each moment with fresh eyes. Free from the weight of what we think we already know. Unconditional compassion and the power of presence. During the same period, there lived a wandering Zen master named Gudo, who was a teacher to the emperor himself. Yet despite his high position, he regularly left the palace to wander as a simple beggar. One rainy night, with his straw sandals disintegrating and his robes soaked, he sought shelter at a humble farmhouse. The woman of the house not only sold him dry sandals but also invited him to spend the night. Inside, Gudo immediately sensed a heavy sadness filling the room. The woman tearfully told him her husband was a gambler and a drunkard. Gudo simply said, "I will help him." He gave the woman money to buy wine and food. And then he waited. Near midnight, the husband stumbled home, reeking of alcohol and defeat. Gudo calmly invited him to share the wine and fish, and then sat in meditation beside him all night. When morning came, the husband woke with no memory of the previous evening. Upon seeing Gudo, he turned pale as he realized he had shared a meal with the emperor's own teacher. Shame crashed over him. Gudo looked at him with eyes full of compassion. "Everything in this life is impermanent," he said gently. "Life is brief. If you continue gambling and drinking, your family will continue to suffer. But in this very moment, you can choose differently." The man wept, seeing his life clearly for the first time in years. He insisted on following Gudo forever. Zen teaches that true compassion doesn't judge or lecture. It simply offers presence. Gudo didn't scold the drunkard. He offered him wine and companionship. Sometimes, the most profound teaching happens not through words but through the radical act of meeting someone exactly where they are. Perfect equanimity and the three words of Zen. In the same region as Gudo lived another Zen master named Hakuin, whose life was so genuinely simple he became a legend. Near his modest temple lived a family whose teenage daughter was known for her beauty. One day, she was found to be pregnant. Under pressure from her parents, she whispered a name, Hakuin. Her parents, faces red with rage, stormed to his temple. "You have disgraced our daughter and brought shame upon our family." Hakuin looked at them with perfect calm. "Is that so?" he said quietly. Those three simple words contained the entire universe of Zen wisdom. Not denial, not argument, not even explanation, just complete acceptance of what the moment was bringing. When the baby was born, the parents brought the child to Hakuin. His reputation was completely destroyed, and students stopped coming to him. Yet Hakuin showed no distress whatsoever. He took the baby tenderly in his arms, begged milk from neighbors, and stayed awake through long nights. His devoted care was so complete that people began to whisper they might have misjudged him. A year passed, and the young mother, tormented by guilt, confessed the truth. The real father was a young fisherman. Her parents rushed back to Hakuin. Now burning with shame, they apologized profusely and reached for the child. Hakuin handed the baby over without hesitation. His only words were the same as before. Is that so? In Zen, this is called perfect equanimity. The mind remains peaceful whether receiving praise or blame, gain or loss. Hakuin had discovered what the Buddha taught. Our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from our resistance to what happens. When we stop fighting reality, even false accusations become just another cloud passing through an endless sky.